It's Sir Men's Skincare?
Sir is the brand.
Yeah.
So it's
Just for the intro.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think because there's the studio and then there's the skincare.
Skincare.
It's Sir Skincare for Men Only. So the skincare line is called Skincare for Men Only by Sir, but the studio is Sir
Just to Sir
Men's.
Studio.
Sir Men's Skincare.
I'm here
Sir
with
Men's Skincare. I think we technically started already. Talk about it with Franjez. Today we have two special guests. The owner and nurse of Sir Men's Skincare. Today's guests are Hana and Taylor.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you very much for being here.
Our pleasure.
How you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
Very good.
Good. Glad to hear. All right, let's start off from the beginning. Where were you guys born?
Brooklyn, New York, 1977.
Brooklyn.
Yep.
Nice.
Born and raised White Plains.
White
New York.
Plains. And just so we get to know you a little bit, tell us a little bit about your childhood, your upbringing.
Oh, you guys.
Just briefly.
I got to pay you for this stuff. Shit.
Just briefly.
Shall I start?
You shall.
Yeah, let's talk about Brooklyn.
I am Brooklyn. I am a first generation Albanian American. My family came here in the early 70s. When they first came, they lived in Brooklyn, 12 people in a 2-bedroom apartment on Eastern Parkway, 85 Eastern Parkway to be exact. I was born in Jewish Community Hospital, which is now Maimonides Hospital. We moved to the Bronx a couple of years later, and I spent my first 11 years of life in the Bronx, Pound Parkway, and then moved up to White Plains in 1988 and been in Westchester ever since.
Nice.
Lived in the city for a couple of single years, but...
You miss the city? Do you prefer Westchester?
I prefer Westchester now. After the pandemic, the city just took a dive. It's just not...
It's a whole different world.
Oh, it's
a
horrible.
whole different world.
There's no vibe.
No, it's not.
No.
It's more like just tourism. Right?
Yeah.
You feel that?
100%.
There's no spots. There's no...
Yeah.
Like, everything is just big and... Like the big box restaurants, big box, like, places to
Nothing
shop.
authentic.
Yeah.
Like how it used to be.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your childhood.
I'm an Italian American. I grew up in Westchester. I went to nursing school during the pandemic. Became a nurse. Now I'm a nurse at White Plains Hospital. And then I found Hana and started doing that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let's backtrack a little bit. How did you get into this this field?
Well, growing up, I was definitely a tomboy. And in my era growing up, skincare wasn't a thing. Makeup wasn't even a thing. When we went out to the clubs, there was no fake lashes. There was mascara. You put it on once, that was it. Lip gloss, put it on once, twice, if you're lucky. No one carried this stuff around. Like, my generation growing up from teenage, even in my 20s to my early 30s, of going out to clubs, parties, networks, the industry was more, it was different. Like the skin game, the hair game, like it was just completely different. Back in 2003, I started working for a woman who, there's that saying, sometimes you don't look for it, it finds you, I started working for her. She had a little practice inside her house, and she was working with chemical peels, and she was a medical esthetician, Bernadine P. Thank you. The first day when I saw the amount of money she made cash, first it was like, all right, you know what? This is lucrative business. How do I get started? In 2003, I then enrolled into aesthetic school. There was literally 3 students in the class. Like, it wasn't even a field. It was more so get your license. You could do waxing. You could do body wraps. You could do facials. I spent about maybe 2 months. Capri School of Cosmetology, Nanuet. They have 2 locations. I got a job. I saw on the job postings, they wanted a spa manager. Never finished school, beauty school dropout. Did go to college. And that was it. It's like I never looked back. I didn't perform the services. I was always on the business management side. But what always gave me a leg forward was because I was in the room as a student and saw what providers had to do and go through, I always had that sense is, okay, if I'm going to manage something, I still got to make it the best environment for my team. And the only way to do it is to know what their pains are. And so that's actually led me to where I am today.
Nice.
Beauty school dropout.
I like it, but your passion made you keep going.
Well, the passion was the money first. I'm not going to lie. It was the money. Listen, I was what? God, now I got to age myself.
You don't have to.
No, that's okay.
Well, you did give us
I'm
your
proud.
birth
The
year and
Botox. I don't look.
Nobody ever did that.
I'm turning 48 in January. I'm a Capricorn. Can't you tell? 2002. I was 25. Yeah, I was 25 years old.
That's when you started doing this?
That's 20. I'm sorry, 22. Yeah, 25. I was 25 when I went to school. And then fast forward, I was fortunate that I went from one management job and then I worked for a company called Completely Bare. Was there for 7 years. It was the dopest place to work. It was when hair removal, they would charge $2,400 for 6 bikini sessions. Now you can get 6 full body lasers, and we'll talk about laser later. But we had every celebrity come through. We were in every Vogue, Harper's Bazaar. I worked for a woman that was just so forward thinking before there were med spas. She had a high-tech spa, and that's what it was originally called, Completely Bare High-Tech Spa. And she just made everything then. She was like one of the pioneers of making all of these medical services in a cool environment. So different. It was so chill. We had a great team. Almost 90% of anyone that ever worked there has all become successful in their own right, somehow, some way. It was something I'd look to emulate with this company, just between the team dynamics, like everyone that worked there. I wouldn't say always got along, but we had fun. It wasn't like, oh shit, I'm going to work today.
Yeah. Very
You want to have a successful business, don't have your employees disgruntled saying, shit, why do I go to work today?
100%.
Instead of saying, hey, looking forward to it, what's going to happen?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how did Sir start?
So 7 years at Completely Bare. During my time there, I helped formulate waxes, at-home wax. I worked with a company. They were originally out of Maine. Then we worked with manufacturers in the UK, British Wax, and some in Spain. And we were going to pitch CVS. And it was the first week in December of 2011, because it was the day after my daughter's first birthday. And we had to drive to Woonsocket, where CVS's corporate headquarters are. And when you go there, in their corporate headquarters, they actually have a CVS. That's how they do their planogramming. So you're walking down aisles, you see where everything is. And we were talking about bringing the hair removal products there. When I was walking down the aisle, we had one male product. So we mostly did bikinis, waxing, and laser. We had a product called Bikini Bump Blasters. But then we also had it for men. It was Razor Bump Blasters. So when we were walking down the aisle, I saw there was nothing there for men. That was like the first aha moment, but it was still too early then. They were just modernizing old legacy beauty brands. Like, we were looking to replace Sally Hansen, because at that time, Nair and Sally Hansen were the only hair removal brands at CVS.
What did you think about that the men's section was so small? What did that make you think? Besides from a business standpoint, did it make you think men don't care, or men aren't just looked after like in that sense?
Men are using their wife stuff. Like, they're just not thinking about it. Because at that time, most men are working in the city, whether it was blue collar or white collar, they're traveling. The wives stood at home or did the shopping and sourced everything for them. I'd buy my husband shaving cream, his moisturizer, It was a completely different landscape back then. Completely. But I will say, even at Completely Bare, we had a lot of high net worth males that were coming to us. A lot of famous men that came to us. We had a lot of celebrities because they were doing laser hair removal. So it was definitely, and the second part was when I started looking at the male market, and we started looking at hair removal products for Completely Bare. Artist Shaving had just come out.
What's
similar. That? Artist Shaving was the original high-end men's shaving creams.
Okay.
They started in the city. They ended up selling their company, I think it was Procter & Gamble, for like 20-something million, 30 million, like something insane, because there was nothing out there. And then the last piece for me was Axe. Remember Axe body spray?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. If you Google their history, They were one of the top performing products ever, and it was
It was
younger
the marketing, right?
marketing, but there was a need. Guys weren't really using, younger men weren't using cologne.
Yeah.
So this was their cologne. Now, fast forward, their cologne collections by teenage boys. So, the landscape has changed, but men brands always performed well if you got in at the right time. And they all sold for big money.
I like it.
And the other thing is most of these beauty brands were owned by men. And I was like, all right, how bad would it be for a men's brand to be owned by a woman?
Yeah, I like it. The irony.
Yeah.
I like it. Taylor, when you went to school, what was your dream job? What was your main goal?
I went to nursing school actually in Riverdale, College Mount St. Vincent. I started in 2016. I was supposed to graduate May 2020. March 2020 pandemic hit, so we all got sent home, everything. So, I finished school and I went right into it, like right into full-on nursing during the pandemic at White Plains Hospital. I wouldn't say that at that time it was most definitely different than what I thought it was going to be. So, you learn a lot. I met some great people and all that kind of stuff. But my dream job was to always help people, but then on the other side of it, I was always like a girly girl with the makeup and the fake eyelashes and everything like that I always wanted to do the aesthetic part of nursing. So I would say dream job would be,
while in college it was to be a nurse.
It was to be a nurse, but mostly an
in
aesthetic
a hospital.
nurse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did that, but now I got best of both worlds. I have fun nursing and serious nursing.
Yeah. That's nice. You got a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So then the meeting came. You had an application out and you applied?
No. So after leaving Completely Bare, I did a lot of consulting, and then I was partners in a chain of med spas, and then opened up another med spa, but the partnership just didn't work out. And during those years, I met Miss Emily Bowe. I am. And I love her. We became friends. She worked for me. I think I worked for her mostly. No, serious. And one day she was like, Hannah, this is when I was at my previous company. She was like, oh, I have, my friend Taylor. She's looking, could she at least shadow? And I knew the dynamics where I knew I was exiting. So it wasn't the right space. So when I started SUR, and I initially didn't think about Botox at SUR. I just thought about laser barbering. We'll talk about that, trademarked first, trust me. And as I was there, clients then would ask, oh, do you offer Botox? You're going to offer Botox? And it was like, wait a minute. Maybe I should start offering it here. Maybe men are that open now to do it. And it's become so much more mainstream and acceptable. So I was like, and whatever happened with Taylor? I was like, is she still working? Does she end up getting a job? She was like, no, let me see me reach out. She's like, Taylor's available to meet. I was like, perfect. Taylor had trainings. We did some additional trainings, and she's been rocking and rolling ever since.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's jump into the services.
Yes.
We have facials,
Yep.
which I think are kind of self-explanatory. Unless you guys do something unique. Let's talk about it.
So on a previous episode, there was a discussion. What was the term you used? Face soap?
Face soap.
Face
Definitely
soap.
said face soap.
Okay. Sorry, I'm hitting your mic here.
No problem.
So when I started, let's go back again, 2003, 21 years ago. When I learned facials, it was about old school way, cleansing, using your hands, facial massage, toning, shoulder massage. And then as the aesthetic industry changed and started bringing in more technology, we swayed away from the human touch. And it got to the point where, yes, you do need these tools to help cleanse your skin. It could go in a little bit deeper. It can infuse products, and they're great. They all have a purpose, but we lost the human touch in it. So when I started SUR, was like, do we really want to use a hydrofacial? Do we really want to use these things, or do we want to take it back old school? And so we decided to take it back old school because we want to go back to that human touch, having that energy between, the esthetician and the client. And it's a different level. It's a different service that when we want our clients to wake up, we want them to feel relaxed. We want them to look relaxed. We want them to have great skin, but we want them to feel relaxed, feel better, and be able to take on the day or end the day.
I like it.
So that's the urban skin treatment.
Do you have anything to add to that?
I agree with that. It became like facials, like for girls, really just became like a machine, like doing the extractions, doing that, and it's like, yeah, it does the job, but it's not as good as like when
They touch you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our girls are our team. I can't say girls. Our team is, well, they are females.
Yeah.
I got to be PC. Our team is really great at what they do, because even with the machine, sometimes if you're going to do an extraction, you got to get in there. You need your hands. You need the tools. It's not just like a suction machine. There's only so much a machine can do.
Absolutely.
There's nothing like the details of a human touch.
Absolutely.
Plus the hot towel, you had it done.
It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice.
10 years younger. 10 years
I like
younger.
that.
Yep.
Let's jump into Botox. What do you guys do with Botox?
I'll let Taylor take this one.
So Botox, I mean, pretty much it is a toxin that, reduces wrinkles on the face, that kind of thing. It is an injection at different points on your head and on your face all around that you could do to just, give you that little tighten that you need. What else?
Also treats sweating.
Oh.
That's why we offer it. So we highlight specific procedures geared towards men. So regular Botox, or toxin as it's called, because there's like Coke and Pepsi, right? But everyone refers to cola as Coke. So everyone refers toxin to Botox, but we use different brands because there's like 5 or 6 now out on the market. I don't even know if people know this.
I had no idea.
So now we use the word tox just to cover all of them. So there's, your crow's feet if you're a guy, if you have really like dynamic muscles, where you just want to soften everything, right? You just don't want to look as aged or look as tired. But there's other uses for it. So one of the main uses now that we've seen with our clients for men is for treating underarm sweat, hyperhidrosis. So it could be anywhere from 50 to 100 units of toxin in each underarm, and it controls the sweating.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, it actually works really, really well. Yes, you have to maintain it. There's nothing that's long-term or permanent to control your sweat. So at least this helps control.
For how long?
6 months, 9 months. It really depends. Like they give you
deal.
gauges, but yeah, I mean, if you're not going to ruin, we have guys that are wearing, $200, $300 shirts, and 5 minutes out of the shower, they've already sweat through them.
Yeah.
We save you dry cleaning bill.
I like it.
Yep.
What's hair exosomes? Exosomes?
Exosomes.
Exosomes.
So exosomes are the newest technology currently on the market. They work with growth factors and stem cells. So exosomes has multiple uses. We currently use it specifically, not only for, but specifically for hair restoration. Mm-hmm. So prior to bringing it on, we actually tested a family friend, a cousin, and we did, I think, 4 rounds. And he's not even 50% done. We're not even 50% into his final results, and he had tremendous regrowth. Yeah. And this is a guy who went to Turkey and had the
I know.
the transplant done. He's had another transplant before that, I think in DR, actually years ago. Then he went to Turkey 2 years ago, and even if you have transplants, you still have to maintain it. And so we've been using it and getting great results.
What exactly is the process?
We inject it.
Inject what?
So exosomes come in a powder form. We have to reconstitute it. It has a product that you mix it with. And then Taylor will go in and inject it with the same syringe that we inject Botox, which is an insulin syringe. So you're not really feeling it. It's not painful. Shouldn't be.
Is it like wherever there's a hair supposed to be, you have to inject this?
Not where all the hairs are, because it when you inject it, it gives a little, it spreads out.
Okay.
So I don't know the exact.
One injection
I know the business
is
side.
an
Don't ask me
area?
the clinical. Thank you.
It'll spread to probably the size of a nickel throughout. So it'll be like a little they would call it a little bleb, which is like a little bump, and then throughout the day it'll start to spread a little bit so that it covers just a group of hair follicles.
Yeah. And it works.
Works. It's just re-stimulating what's broken. Is it going to work the same on everyone? Nothing
No.
works the same on everyone. Everyone's body's different.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
interesting
far.
technology.
It is. It's the newest one. And there's different ways to use it too. You can mix it with PRP, which,
Is
you know,
your
you
own
could do
blood.
with microneedling, where you're puncturing tiny holes and then you're just rubbing it in. But we opt out to inject it.
Yeah.
We've had better results.
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's jump into laser hair removal.
That's how I started, like really
Oh,
started
this is
my
your
life.
favorite
That's
part?
my favorite part.
Yeah.
Lasers, because I've worked with them, I've sold them, I've trained on them, I've taught laser theory to people. So it's a world that I know really, really well. And we are the makers of laser barbering. Thank you. I'm going to keep saying that because some people try copying us. Whatever.
Yeah.
Imitation's the greatest form of flattery.
100%.
Not always. Not always. But what we do, so laser hair removal, now I can fully educate you on laser hair removal.
Let's do
We
it.
have the ability to treat all 6 skin types. There are 6 skin types categorized in the world, numbers 1 through 6. 1 being lightest skin, lightest of hair, where you ever see like Scandinavian people, really, really fair skin, and they have really, really like naturally like blonde, platinum blonde hair.
I must have.
That's good. That's like a skin type 1. Skin type 6 will be darkest skin type with darkest of hair. And then there's everything in between. So lasers work on every hair and skin type with the exception of pure gingers, redheads, and any gray hair.
What doesn't work? Laser doesn't
Laser
work?
is not effective.
What is that? How is
So
that?
the way lasers work, regardless of, you know, I give you a whole spiel now. So
Yeah,
do a little
yeah, I'm very
training now.
interested.
So there's
Let's do
3
it.
different, so we'll start from the beginning. There's 3 different laser types that can be utilized for hair removal. And they're all different wavelengths. So you have a Alexandrite laser, which is a 755 wavelength. So we'll say it's this long. There's a target chromophore. So a chromophore is what this technology is looking for. It's its bullseye, right, for layman's terms. So what that's looking for is pigment. So if your skin has pigment in it and your hair isn't darker than your skin, it can burn you because it's looking for pigment. So normally fairer skin, darker skin types, 755 Alex. So that's normally skin types 1 to 3. Then you have an Nd:YAG, which is 1064. So you have 755, and you have something that's about 50% longer, deeper, is the wavelength. Its target chromophore is blood. So it'll bypass, we can treat darker skin types because pigment means nothing to this. Its bullseye is blood. So the way it treats hair removal is that it goes to the blood at the bulb of the hair follicle. So
Wow.
what feeds the hair. So it's destroying the blood flow that feeds the hair and it kills it. Those typically are skin types 4, 5, and 6. We have a diode laser. Diode laser, it's an 810. It's in between. And we have the capability to treat all 6 skin types.
Amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's the
that's very
first
interesting.
FDA-approved portable laser, which we'll be doing house calls pretty soon. We're able to take a professional laser and go to someone's home or office and treat them.
Amazing.
Yep.
I like that. Things are looking good.
Yep. Getting there.
And detail a little bit about the laser barbering.
Laser barbering. So one of the...
Who invented
one
this?
I hate to make it about me, but it was fucking all me. No, at complete. So it wasn't. So here's the genesis of it. At Completely Bare, 95% of our business was 90% of the business was laser hair removal, and 99% of the population that came to us was all female. But we did have these high net worth clients, and everyone would start. Gentlemen would always start with their back. They didn't want hairy backs. They take off their shirt. During the consultations, when we explained the benefits of laser, one of them, it treats ingrown hairs. The number one area for a man for ingrown hairs is his neck or his face. Always keeping that in mind and keeping about the men's. And when I wanted the inception of creating a men's spa, which was my first thought process, was back in 2013, 2014. And so when I started thinking about, okay, if I'm going to create a men-only spa, what am I going to offer? How do I differentiate myself? And laser hair removal, even though it's been around, it's kind of like Arm & Hammer baking soda. There's like 1,000,001 uses for it, right? lasers. There's a million and one uses. So how do I take that use for a man specific? And how do I really give him what he wants? Well, men see their barbers. Men are very specific about their lines. So I had to find a technology that I can follow the straight lines, mimic the barber. So if he wants it to end here, I have to be able to end here. I can't have it end here. So finding the right tools. Then I got the barber tools, the shape up tools, and then we follow the guide. A lot what we do is we follow the barber after he shaves you. It's the best time to come in. If you're looking for a specific shape. If you're not, different. But because a lot of guys still, they say they want the facial hair, but they want all the ingrowns gone on their neck.
Nah, no ingrowns. I don't even shave. I just trim.
Okay.
Yeah. Services on demand powered by XOD. What is this?
So XOD is the company that I got the laser from. So they're now called, the laser itself is called DioGo. It's diode on the go.
What is it?
So because the laser type is a diode laser, it's called DioGo, DIOGO. They are distributed by XOD, which stands for Aesthetics on Demand. They make technology now that will be portable. So it would be professional technology that you would find in a med spa, but they've made it compact where a provider can travel with it easily and then perform these services in the comfort of someone's home.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So I was one of their first accounts here in the U.S.
Very nice.
Yep.
And that's what you're going to start doing?
We're going to start doing house calls with it.
Amazing.
Yep.
And I will probably say this wrong, but cytokinin?
Cytokins.
Cytokin.
All right, I'm going out of here.
Okay.
See you later.
Love you.
Yeah, it was nice.
Nice to meet you.
God, am I that bad? Cytokins are the active ingredient in SUR's anti-aging face and eye cream. So what cytokins do, it helps reverse the aging process or inflammation. So it treats inflammation. Inflammation is the catalyst and cause of every skin condition you have. If you can treat inflammation, you can treat fine lines, acne. It's the root of all issues in our skin. So cytokins are a plant stem cell that can help regenerate.
Interesting.
Yeah.
As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A lawyer.
Really?
Yeah.
And when did that change?
Back in 2000, when my dad passed away. Yeah.
Why?
Just because I couldn't handle the death. It took a toll. And then I went, spiraled out. When you're young, you just,
Yeah, absolutely.
you hold it in and you leash out other ways.
Man.
Yep. NYU was my goal.
I see.
But then I've encountered a lot of lawyers and thank God I didn't become one.
All right.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, not, especially if you're like a criminal lawyer and you're responsible for someone's life and then you lose trial. I would feel so guilty.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. No, I'm serious. Or if you're you're a divorce lawyer and, if your client wants custody of the kids and, the person you represent can't be a true parent to their kids because you fucked up.
Yeah. It's tough. It's a tough job.
That's just the guilt. Same thing medical professionals. I don't know how Taylor does what she does. Be able to see a sick person, can't help them, especially in the hospital.
Yeah, it's a tough line of work. That's why they get paid well. It's not for everybody.
It is not. I got mad props to everybody in healthcare.
Yeah,
everyone.
absolutely. I could never do that job.
Yeah, even from the admin people at the hospital that have people screaming at them, yelling at them because they're in pain, and you just got to suck it up and deal with it. And you're absorbing all of that energy day in and day out.
Very tough. What religion did you practice during your childhood?
Catholic, Roman Catholic.
What's your relationship with God today?
I believe in God. I believe there's one God and everybody has a different name for him, hence all the different religions. Really people. Let's all just be nice and love one another. And I have a saying, just be human. I don't give a shit what your belief is. Just be human. Is it that hard?
I like
to have compassion? The world's changed. We're in a messed up time. There's a lot of confusion. And we all can coexist.
Absolutely.
Democrats, Republicans. Am I supposed to hate you? I don't know what. And I don't want to talk about politics here. That's not that it's my no-no, but I'm not red, I'm not blue, I see green. I ain't gonna lie. Like, so I care about who is gonna help, because when the economy is better, people are calmer. And when you have a calmer population, people are nicer.
Yeah.
But when there's upheaval and turmoil, it's like when your parents are fighting, like you're all nervous and, it's a fucked up time. But when your parents are, getting along great, it's like, oh, everything's cool at home, It's the same world of politics. It's like mom and dad fighting. It's like, can you guys just shut up or get divorced?
Definitely.
You know?
Who's the first person you think of when you think of success?
That's a good question. Define success.
It's your definition of success.
I don't think of it as money. Like, there's a lot of successful people, I smirk because to me, success is about character and how somebody knows you, right? So Gandhi didn't have a pot to piss in, right? He was a very humble person, but he can sway the population. He can sway the world with his words. That's success to me, Then you have these multi-billionaires that can rock the stock market, but they're dicks. And at the end of the day, yeah, you could be a billionaire, but you're still a dick. So you're not successful in my eyes because you're just
100%.
not. It's
absolutely. So
don't get me wrong. I love making money, but you got to make it with the right intention and with the right people. And when you get to a certain point of success, pay it forward and help people. Everybody needs a helping hand every now and then.
Absolutely. What are 3 things you need to be happy?
Would I need to be happy? Health.
3 things. Health.
Right? I have 2 kids, 2 teenagers now. I want to make sure they're healthy, they're safe, grown in a safe environment. That's what makes me happy. As long as, and everyone's just chill. Like, when everyone's just having a good time, like when we used to go to work and I used to run these companies, it was like, let's just rock and roll today. Money will come. If you know you have a good product, whether it's a physical product or service, and I don't care what business owner you are, but if you don't have the right vibe within your team dynamics, it's going to fail. And so my importance, as this is now a startup, and I've built a lot of successful companies within my space in the med spa world, but building the right team can just start you here and then catapult you right up here. It's different. When everyone is just gelling and vibing and have a good time, the money flows.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. As you get older, what has become more important and less important?
Less important are tangible items. Most important is being able to travel the world. I've learned, it's like that MasterCard commercial, and they'll say $22 for this, $57,000 for that. And then the look on someone's face is priceless, right? Yeah, I could buy my kids certain things, but at the end of the day, they'll like it. They'll, for that moment, and a year later, they're going to want something else. If I take that same money, and I've been doing that in the last couple of years, is taking them on vacation, letting them experience different cultures. Like when we went to the Caribbean, we went to Jamaica, we went to the outskirts. They saw a different life. And we had great people surround us, breaking everything down, explaining like the agriculture there, because that's important there. And so it allowed them to open up their eyes to see a different perspective to life. We went to Europe this summer, and once you go deep into Europe, not everyone is castles and all this stuff. It's a different, people still farmers, and they see that, and it just like, it humbles you. Like, I think if the whole world traveled more and experience how other people live in other cultures, they wouldn't be so dicky.
I agree.
Like, it's...
People are so honed into what they know and what's going on to them.
Their bubble.
They have no idea what's going on in the rest of the world.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, and it's just different. You go to certain other countries and you're not going to have certain liberties that you would here in the States, so you have to appreciate the freedom that we do have, but in the respect others in their own environment and be respectful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's the most exciting thing you ever did?
Besides giving birth to my kids, getting married. Like, those are the most important,
Yeah, life-changing things.
Those are life-changing, and they were all positive experiences.
Beautiful.
Except that I was pregnant at my wedding and I was probably one of the only sober people there. Yeah. And I was hating on everybody. I was so jealous. So jealous. Listen, I'm Albanian, so our weddings are big. 400, 500, 600, 700 people.
Wow.
And we had about like 450, 475. And me and my boss at the time, the owner of Completely Bare, we were both pregnant at the same time. We were probably the only sober people at our wedding.
Couldn't even enjoy it.
No, I was so jealous. It's like the one time. I had breakdancers at my wedding.
Oh, that's nice.
I had two Albanian bands by accident, a DJ, and we had Kid Freeze, and I forgot 2 others breakdance. It was a good time.
That's nice.
Good time.
Very nice. What would be the best piece of advice you'd give your younger self?
What I've learned now, 40-something years later, really understand what someone else's intention when they infiltrate your circle. Like, really start reading people, start believing in you. I'm big on intuition now. And if it doesn't smell good or the vibe doesn't feel good from the first 5 seconds, just don't invite them into your circle. There's a lot of vultures, right? There's that term like vampire, like they suck your soul, like people that just want energy, like vampire energy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then there's people that are haters of your success. Me, if I'm not winning, but someone else is that I know, God bless, go make $100 million. I'll be fine with making my dollar. Go make, at least somebody's doing it.
100%.
That's the crazy part. But unfortunately,
envy, greed.
And as I became more successful in my other venture, we grew it to be the highest grossing med spa in the US per square foot at one point. Like, we were rocking and rolling. And that's when I realized more and more people, the more success you have, the more people want to take you down.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid. Instead of just rocking with you and going along for the ride. And
yeah, the bigger you get, the more people attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't share your success with everyone. I remember I used to see those on Instagram, like, don't say anything, move in silence.
Yeah.
But I would just be proud, like, oh my God, I did this, or I'm excited. Oh my, this is what we're doing. It's excitement, because you're proud of yourself. But then you realize, shut up.
It's like you're showing off and everybody's envious.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you're proud. I was literally proud of myself, things that you accomplished, because you look back, you're like, oh shit, I did that.
Yep.
It has nothing to do like, oh my God, I did that.
Absolutely.
Except for laser barbering. Serious. But
I like it.
No, I mean, it's just, that's like the one self. Like, not everyone is not your friend.
Absolutely.
And everyone will fucking lie to you.
Absolutely.
And they will stab you in a blink of an eye, and you won't even know it. You won't even see it coming.
I agree.
It's crazy. That's the only thing. I always say, I wish I would have just kept limited my circle just a little bit tighter. Or I just trusted everyone off the beginning, and you have to build trust. I used to operate differently. It's again, I trust you, I don't. So everyone had trust with me, then you would just lose it as opposed to earn it. Now everyone's got to earn it.
I like that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you do anything for your mental health? Do you work on it in any way?
Yes. Now I do, which, again, growing up in a different era, no one spoke about mental health. I come from first generation Albanians where my parents were hardcore. They were tough because they had a tough life. So they raised us to be tough, but not realizing being tough is also being weak. And that's what people don't understand. So shuttering your feelings, oh, I'm not going to show you, I could cry, whatever. No, it's okay to cry. It's okay to talk things out. You don't sit there and cry about it for 3 months. You fucking get a set of balls. You can cry about it today. Now do something about it. There's a difference, right? You have to release emotion. You can't keep everything harbored in. You have to release. But then you have to replenish with positive energy and change the mindset. So you got to work towards it. But growing up we didn't talk about feelings. It's like, shut up, what are you crying for? And it's like, no, you're okay to cry, When my son was born, he's going to kill me right now. He was a baby. And I tried doing one of those things, like let them cry it out, and he's hysterical crying. And my mother-in-law, she lives with us. He's crying so much, you're going to bust his balls. Because that's like Albanians have this crazy, you're not supposed to, I don't know. You got to just, it's just weird. It's weird. You're supposed to cover everything, not talk about. A lot of cultures have that, not just Albanians. Like, you don't,
Japanese are like that.
you just take it in. You raise your head up high and you suck it up, and it's like, okay, now what? They don't tell you to deal with the out what. They just tell you to shut up and keep going.
Be proper.
Yeah,
Just
but
be
then
proper
what?
all day.
Yeah, not.
It's tough. It's a tough way to be.
It is. But my parents and a lot of cultures, first generation, and again, my parents came here in the 70s. They're already in their 30s. So when they grew up in Europe and they grew up in a communist country, they didn't even have indoor plumbing.
Wow.
They had outhouses growing up as a kid. So it's a different. It's a different lifestyle. They didn't have the convenience of hot water.
Wow.
My kids want to take a shower every day, and it's like, back then, if they showered once a week, how are you going to warm up the water? It's different,
The luxury they don't even know they have.
They had hardships, and the best thing my family ever did was send me there when I was 11 years old, and I experienced it.
There you go.
And that's what made me look at things a little bit different. That's just why, I like to expose my kids to different cultures, different ways of life, different food,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Instead of buying Lululemon, Kayla. No more Lululemon. Can we talk about that? $85 for a fucking pair of leggings.
Oh my God. Are they amazing? At least do they last a long time? At
Came
least.
from fucking Amazon for $19.99. Get dupes. Who cares? Put a long shirt, cover the logo. That was the other thing. Growing up, we didn't have. No one wore name brands. Like, Nike just came out.
Yeah. Times are very different.
Very different. Very different.
What are your main goals with SUR?
Main goal 1 is to create an environment where men feel comfortable being vulnerable and taking care of themselves. That's first and foremost, right? And then educating the younger generation on proper skincare, because my generation and a lot of skincare was always about correcting. How about preventive first, right? It's like medicine. Every pill on the market is all about fixing an ailment. Well, how do you prevent the ailment? Eat healthy, right? So skin is the same thing. Skin is your largest organ. So you have to take care of it properly, eating the right foods, using the right ingredients, using the right products. There's a lot of shit out on the market, like a lot. And what people don't realize that I've learned in the last 15 years in dealing with manufacturing is that a lot of these brands are all made from some of the top 5 to 8 manufacturers, labs.
Oh, they all come from the same place.
Same place,
right?
And they're going to either do what they may do is change one ingredient because they can't have it exactly the same, but it's all very standard, very cookie cutter, and you don't need 1,000 different products on your face. Night serum, day serum, this, that. It's like, start with what you eat. What are you putting in your body? Are your hormones affecting your skin? Because it's a hormonal. I don't give a shit what you're putting on that face. The only thing that's going to correct it is when you correct your hormones. Can you control it, but you can't fix it? So just teaching the younger generation now, which is why we did the line of soaps, was using, I speak at Growth and Goals Mindset, love you guys, down at Henry Street Settlement. And when I went there to talk about skincare, the biggest takeaway that I wanted them to learn is that when you're looking at something you're going to put on your face, look at the ingredients. If you don't know what it is, put it back on the shelf.
Makes sense. Simple.
It's that simple. Where,
very simple.
It's the same thing like food, right? Bread before used to have 5 ingredients. Now there's 22. So it's not bread anymore. But you're eating it, and it's messing us all up. So going back to skincare of, if we have this younger generation doing the right thing now, they won't have the need for all of this corrective skincare, using all of this technology. You're using major technology to reverse something. Well, let's prevent it in the first place. That's why we have a team program.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what are your overall life goals?
Travel the world and experience as much as I can. If I could backpack right now, I would, and just travel the whole world.
Yeah, experiences are everything.
It really is, because it just puts things in perspective. It's like you go to a different area and maybe listen, there's ups and downs of being an entrepreneur. And I've been down this road and now I'm solo. Last two ventures, I had partners, and there's always ups and downs. Scary. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? And then, I come across, or I run into someone, or I've experienced something where it's like, it always could be worse. Shut the hell up. You have a business, write it out. It's going to be successful. It could always be worse. So I hate to say, sometimes looking at other people's hardships puts things into perspective, and it's like big girl panties. You started this, now see it to the finish line. Or if I'm fighting with my kids, or just like stupid stuff, it's like, really, am I wasting time, energy, and effort on something so fucking irrelevant when people don't have food? People are being bombed and killed left and right. There's young souls being destroyed every 30 seconds. We have a drug epidemic. We have wars. We have all these things going on. So when then you look at I got a speeding ticket. I got a parking ticket. It's like, oh my God, my world ended. No, world didn't end. Learn how to fucking park. Pay your meter.
That's it. You're right.
We as a society now, I think more so in the U.S., we just like babies over the littlest shit.
It's all about mindset. It's how you see everything, perspective.
Yeah, and it's just not, once you walk out of the U.S. and you start seeing different ways of life, you humble yourself. We have to learn how to be humble, myself included, everybody. Every now and then someone needs, I hate to say, you got to get sunned. No, you do, though. You got to bring it back down. You just can't. No, but it's
It is true.
Come on.
It's very true.
In business, people get a little bit of success, and they think their shit don't stink. It's like, yo, dude, that success could either be long-term or short-term. If you're humble, it's long-term. You want to be a prick? I could promise you it's going to be short-term, because the minute someone else is up and coming, they're going to diss you because they don't like you and they won't support you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're nearing the end of the podcast. If you can let the people know where they can find you, if you have anything coming up you want them to tune into, and any last advice you'd like to leave the people with.
Sir Men's Skin and Laser Studio, located at 23 Court Street, White Plains, 914-496-6707. Instagram handle, Skincare for Men Only. And we do have a skincare line, Skincare for Men Only by Sir. Website is www.skincareformenonly.com. Upcoming, we are doing Hugo Boss from September 11th to the 18th. We'll do a gift for purchase. Anything you purchase at Hugo Boss at the Westchester Mall only, you get a free Urban Skin Treatment facial. We are doing an event with A Sanctuary on September 22nd from 7:30 to 10:30. That will be at the Sale House in Tarrytown. We're offering complimentary mini facials and shoulder and neck massages during this event. They're going to have a cold plunge, Boundless Nutrition, and a couple other vendors will be there. And the takeaway from all of this, and the reason why, just be cool, just be human. If everyone was just fucking human right now, we'd be all right.
If everybody was human,
just be human.
All right.
Just be nice.
I like it.
Just it's like literally just be nice. It's not that hard. It doesn't cost you anything.
I like it. Thank you very much for your time.
No, thank you.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Peace and love.
Deuces.